right, and our last topic for the writing equations of lines is for perpendicular lines. Now, perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals of each other. Opposite reciprocals means like this. So I gave a couple of examples. Let's suppose the slope of an original line is 3. The opposite reciprocal, so opposite means it changes sign, so it's now negative. Reciprocal means it gets flipped. So that's 1/3. So it's the opposite reciprocal of 3 is negative 1/3. Notice I did not write that they are equal to each other because they're not equal. This is opposite reciprocals. The opposite reciprocal of negative 1/2, well, it would be positive 2 because it gets flipped and changes signs, okay? Other things to remember about perpendicular lines do intersect. So not like parallel lines, perpendicular lines do intersect, and they intersect in such a way that they form a right angle, a 90-degree angle. All right, let's try this problem. It says, write the equation of the line perpendicular to y equals 1/5 x plus 2 that passes through the point 2, 0. So I'm going to remind you before we start, this is the point slope form of the equation of a line. Perfect. Now from here, I need to discern what is the slope. So what was the slope in this line? The original slope is 1/5. What would be the opposite reciprocal of that? Well, opposite means it changes signs and we have to flip it. So the slope would be -5. And then it passes through this point. So the 2 is going to be the x1 and the 0 is going to be the y1. So when I plug it in, I'll have y minus 0 equals slope -5 times x minus 2. Y minus 0, of course, is just y. -5 times x is -5x. -5 times -2 is +10. And that is the equation of our line. Okay? Let's try it again. Let's do this one. We're going to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 2 that passes through the point -3, 4. All right. So first thing I need to discern is what is the slope? Well, slope in this line right here is 3. So if my original slope is 3, what is the opposite reciprocal of that? Well, the opposite means it's going to change sign. It's going to be negative, and it gets flipped. So that's -1/3. All right. And then I'm going to plug in with this point. So -3 is going to be the x1, 4 is going to be the y1. So I'll have y minus 4 equals -1/3 times x minus -3. Okay? All right. So the left-hand side of the equation is still y minus 4. On the right-hand side of the equation, I notice this is going to become a plus. And now I'm going to do the distributive property. So -1/3 times x is -1/3 x. -1/3 times +3. Well, it's a negative times a positive, so that tells me it will be a negative. And 3 times 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so this is -1. You can always check this in a calculator too, by the way. All right, so last step, add 4 to both sides of the equation. We get y equals -1/3 x plus 3. And that's our equation. All right, very good. Now, this is your try it problem.